Okay, welcome to Nothing in the Crib. They really fucking hate RFK Jr., which we'll get to in a second. I want to remind everybody that before I read what I'm going to read, I said this shit first. I called this. I did. Roger Stone predicts Biden to drop out, obviously, and Michelle Obama as 2024 Dem frontrunner. So, firstly, fuck you, guy, because I called that. Second, the Biden crime family started to really spiral lately, especially because RFK Jr. is not able to be censored as he historically has been. So, that's not who they want. They can't have him in there because he's going to cause problems because he knows all the bullshit. He's just like Trump in that way that they both admit to knowing the bullshit because they've been in it. And so they can't possibly do it. And I told you before, Michelle Obama has said every time she's asked, I'm not going to run. I have no interest in running. And I believe her that she has no interest in running. Nobody wants that fucking job. That's a gross job to have. What a horrible job. Nobody wants it. She doesn't want to go through all that fucking stress again. But she's controllable. So to them, that's their best option. That's why they want her in there. And she's the only person who would even stand a chance against RFK Jr. Because Gavin Newsom is a fucking scab. Like, your state is in shambles. Who the fuck wants you to run this goddamn country? Nobody wants you to run anything. You can't even run what you're supposed to be running. He shouldn't even be in the conversation. He's a scab. So he won't do. But Michelle Obama is very popular. Not with me. Not with me. But in general, she is. So she would stand a chance. And they really keep trying to fuck with RFK Jr. And almost every time they're doing it, it's backfiring horribly, for the record. This was a funny one. So House Dems have put into vote to censor RFK Jr. during a, drumroll please, a meeting about fucking censorship. They met to discuss censorship and how it's a problem. And then they put forward a vote to censor RFK Jr. specifically from speaking about censorship, which is insane. I only watched the clip, like a 10-minute clip of like his opening statement when he spoke on it. He killed, by the way. He's very good at public speaking because he's being honest. So it's like very easy for him. And he's a very trustworthy person. He's a great candidate in real life, not for what bullshit that they want, but in real life, he's actually a great fucking candidate. But fucking censorship. And all the shit that they were saying, they were accusing him of being, I think, racist and anti-Semitic, and had no, like, couldn't be like, okay, this is what you said that makes us think that. So they can just, like, say shit. Just like he's been called an anti-vaxxer for a very long time. And he's not against vaccines. His children have all of the, like, standard vaccines. The reason he speaks the way he speaks was a fucking vaccine injury. Just so we're all clear. And that wasn't even what, like, led him down the path to where he is now with that shit. He started out as a fucking environmental lawyer. He was not at all interested in fucking vaccine shit or aware of it. He was studying mercury levels in these places where these big companies and corporations were fucking everything up and destroying shit and ruining people's lives. And they were testing all the mercury that was coming out of it. And all these women started showing up when he was speaking and asking him to look at all of this other mercury data that was all from vaccines. So that's how he even started down this fucking path, as an anti-big corporation fucking environmental lawyer So again, like, they don't like him because it's really hard to shut him up. God, protect that man. That is the one good thing, is like, they can't assassinate him. If they do, they're gonna have to make it look like the most accident of all accidents, because like, you already did it, and then you admitted it, and then Joe Biden pulled it back, just redacted the documents after, like, it's been 6 years. They were out. They're out. People took, like, there's copies of them. People can see them. Everybody screenshots and fucking saves everything now because you guys are so shady. But he just recently redacted those, just so we're aware. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because now that they see the growing popularity of RFK Jr., that now they know people are going to start looking into stuff, so now they know they have to pull some of the shit back that everybody was previously ignoring? I feel like that's the direction it's headed. I will say this, my opinion, and I don't know shit about fuck right now, is anybody that they're trying to censor or discredit, like, crazily, like, they're going to great lengths, they're doing it multiple times, it's being hammered into your head over and over again. Those are people you should continue to pay attention to and not ignore. Whatever they're telling you to do the fucking opposite, I promise you. It doesn't matter if you don't, I don't care if you don't like Trump, I don't care if you don't like RFK Jr., I don't give a flying fuck. You don't need to like them to pay attention to at least hear what the fuck they have to say. And I feel like it would serve you well. And these people are pissing me off anyway because exercising is now far right. Uh, 16.5 million Americans at risk of stroke from exercising too hard. This is getting ridiculous, and I cannot fucking tolerate it anymore. The body positivity shit has now been, it's like everything, it's been hijacked and taken over and warped into something that they're using, like everything else, to keep you fucking sedate. And nobody wants to, what are you talking about? Never mind the fact that governments historically, and it's very well documented, have done that. They've purposely kept people with the worst food, like the cheapest of the foods, shit that keeps you sedate and docile, like medication. Like, it's very purposeful. That's why they all get paid, and that's why they're all in bed with these big corporations. That's why the food pyramid's fucking upside down, and everything you retire your whole life is fucked. Stupid shit like that. And it's not good to be overweight because it increases your mortality rate, like, crazily. Look it up. It's fucking insane. Being even just, like, mildly obese. The fact that shouldn't even be a term, by the way. Fucking, when you look at those charts, and it's like mildly obese, moderately obese, severely obese. No, it's all, you're obese. That's it. If you are that overweight, there's obese. Even your mortality rate increases so much just from being overweight in general. Like, stop pawning it off as people wanting to look good. Because in reality, it's good for your body for you to not be overweight. You're taxing your joints. You're taxing all of your fucking body systems. Your body is literally having to work harder and expend more energy. So that's why you feel lazy, and that's why you can't move around and do things. And then when you can't move around and do things, that's why you have all this latent anxiety sitting in your fucking chest. Then you go to the doctor, and then guess what they prescribe you? Fucking Xanax. This is it. This is the fucking wheel of shit that is just there. And it's not that everybody ignores it. There's lots of people. I don't ignore it. I know a lot of people who don't live their life like that because they were willing to fucking deal with it. It's not easy. It's a lot of work to, like, properly take care of your body. It is, but it's not always a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get going. It can be. But once you get going, it literally becomes second nature. People just don't, you gotta just fucking try. And you see shit getting better in your body and improving so fast that it makes you want to continue to fucking do it. And, people who are fit and want to eat clean food and drink water and not do bullshit are, like, vilified now because of these fucking psychos in the goddamn government who just want you to be like cattle. You can fight that fucking image all you want, but in reality, that's what it is. They want you sedate. They want you as docile as possible, so that if they start fucking shit up, everybody's too tired and fat to get up and fucking revolt. Literally. That's the reason. And I don't know. I have to, like, just the differences and I'm going to talk about this because I never wanted to try the carnivore diet because it wasn't making sense in my head. And I have very good, like, I have higher than normal food and nutrition and, like, exercise knowledge just from when I did those couple stupid bodybuilding competitions and, like, being on prep, and you get to know exactly what foods do what to your body. It's really interesting. And I always like to, like, read about shit when I'm doing it so I know as much as possible. And you go down these rabbit holes and you keep finding this nutrition information. And a lot of it is clashing with, like, what I was taught my whole fucking life. So it does makes me resistant sometimes to that stuff. Not so much anymore. But I got on to these kicks with these food things because I've had rheumatoid arthritis for a lot of my life. I have my Malin streak that I have that's in here, and my RA both started when I went through puberty. And it affects my joints, like, not terribly my whole life. And then the last couple years, and especially because I've been a pastry chef, and I'm, like, I'm doing all these things that are, like, the worst possible things you could do to make your hands ache. And I started just reading about shit and looking everything up, and I like to read and I like to know things. So that does help. You have to have at least the desire for some kind of, like, knowledge about your fucking body. And, like, that's the kind of shit we should be teaching kids in schools, honestly. Like, legitimate, like, nutrition and food and, like, legitimate exercise. But that's a fucking whole other bag of cats. But carbs, like wheat, shit like that, processed shit like that, and sugar are the things that inflame you the most. Which is funny because, like, we all know that. Like, you know that processed shit and you know that sugar's bad for you because you know, like, when you eat it, you get, like, puffy and you feel like shit and you feel tired. And if that's how you feel eating it, that's literally what it's making the insides of your fucking body feel when you're fucking consuming it. And it's just irritating the fuck out of all of your systems. So the difference in my arthritis just from when I started fucking around with just carbs in general and seeing things that my body would respond to well that I didn't think they would, like potatoes. I'm not afraid of a potato every once in a while. I don't eat them every day. And that's pretty much it, though, because the fuck would I want to eat something that's literally going to put me in physical fucking pain? And even if you're not in physical pain when you're eating it, that's the shit it is doing to your fucking insides when you are eating it. Sugar and carbs are the two things that affect, like, dementia and Alzheimer's and senility and all of the shit in your brain also. The layers of protective shit in your brain feed off of that. And the more, like, sugar that you're dumping into your system, the more you're fucking up your brain's ability to literally work. That's way oversimplified. I've completely fucked that up, but also what I'm trying to say is not fucked up. That's what it does. So again, why would you purposely put that in your fucking body? I can't. And I've always done kind of like a looser version of, like, my prep diet, just because I felt so good when I was, you do feel good. Your body feels different. You have energy throughout the day. Like, you have legitimate energy throughout the day. It completely mitigates your anxiety and depression. I don't think people realize how much of their anxiety is caused by if they're not exercising. And breaking a sweat, like legitimately breaking a sweat. your body is meant to do activity. And if you can't get that out of your body by like exercise, it's going to just bounce around in your fucking body. Think about it like that. That's what's causing you to be sitting on the couch and you're like, why am I afraid? Like, you need to get your fucking ass up. And then you won't just like randomly feel fearful and anxiety ridden when out of nowhere throughout your fucking day. And get those like random depressive fucking episodes. Regular exercise mitigates that. Food will affect your energy levels incredibly. And the thing, and that's why I want to talk about switching from, I was eating a very clean diet, but to what I'm eating now. Because I eat like steak and eggs or eggs and bacon every morning for breakfast. I cook everything in a little bit of butter. See, I tweaked this. You have to tweak things to yourself. You can't just like read a diet and then go like, oh, this is for me. It's completely fucked. That's so stupid. Like, shit's not going to work for everybody. But if you can get a baseline, and this is, again, you have to get knowledge about this. Like, teach yourself a little bit of shit. It's out there. You can Google everything now. But you can't just look at a template for a diet, like the carnivore diet. And watch all these fucking videos and read all these things, and you see people putting like half a stick of butter on everything, or like eating bites of butter. And that's fine. That obviously works. I feel like that's more of a thing would make a guy's body better than a girl's, just me, because at the end of the day, calories are king. Also, don't forget that. At the end of the day, calories are king. That is what's going to affect like what you look like your size. But the foods that you're putting in are going to affect another thing. The thing I just fucking found out, which again, I know these things, I just don't ever like put them fucking together in my head. So I'm eating steak and eggs, bacon, like I use like a tablespoon of butter where people are putting like a half a fucking stick, whatever. Tweak it to yourself. I'm smaller, so I don't need as many calories. And like I'm getting enough fats throughout the day because I have a loose idea of I don't need to like look stuff up. Those apps are great though. Like if you don't know the stuff offhand, get one of those apps and start tracking your food. Because once you get an idea of how many calories are in shit just by like looking at it, you can literally just like look at stuff and be like, okay, I can have this, this, and this, or like here's something I can put together that would be good. It alleviates a lot of like the anxiety of worrying about what you're going to eat and like how to eat healthy, because you have a lot more freedom when you can just, if something's good for you or not, essentially. And you have a rough idea of how many calories you're fucking putting in your body. So for me, I get enough fat and protein throughout the day where I want something sweet at night. And I have this almost every single night. And it's a bunch of berries, like raspberries, strawberries, kind of whatever I have, like a kiwi, maybe a banana sometimes. And I make a fucking fruit dip. And I could do full fat sour cream. I choose not to because I've almost always already hit my calorie goal for the day by that time. So I don't need to add in a ton of extra calories. So I'll get like the low fat sour cream. And then I do some cinnamon, a little bit of vanilla, and again, teach yourself about this shit. I brought this with me because this is a really great thing. For sugar, it's dehydrated cane juice. Penelope, I don't know what the fuck that says, but it's not refined, and a little bit of real sugar that comes from like something like that, or the sugar that's in the fruit, is completely okay for me. Because people are like, there's so much fucking sugar. And you're right. Fruit is really sugary. And if you're eating like desserts and Big Macs and fucking shit like that, you should not also be eating fruit at night. I don't consume any sugar during the day at all. So this is my sugar I'm having. And it's completely fine. My body feels great with it. But I do 2 tablespoons of the dehydrated cane juice. And then you let that sit overnight, mix it up. You let it sit for 24 hours before you eat it. It has to sit. It tastes completely fucking different. And I'll put like a tablespoon of that, mix it in with the fruit so it gets all coated. And then I'll put like a puff of the sugar-free Ready Whip or some shit. Like, and it's really good and it's really filling. And to me, it's really sweet because I'm not eating like processed, like bullshit, sweet shit during the day. And it seems very decadent to me, even though in reality, it's not. But that's, again, if you eat clean during the day, then stuff like that, like you're not going without. You don't ever feel like you're going without like a treat or like the sweet stuff. And I'm very full during the day on this diet. I eat a lot of bacon. Like I snack on bacon and cheese all day. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but if you are exercising and drinking a shitload of water and doing all those things, it's like your body works great. The 4th day in, I did experience, wasn't tired. At no point was I tired. I had great fucking energy like one day into this shit. But and I do work out really hard. I do hard cardio every day. I do heavy lift. But I got very fatigued fast, like much faster than usual. I did notice. And I did read on that. And it said it was normal. So it took me like maybe 2 or 3 days where I was getting like fatigued a little bit easily. And then after that, completely back to normal. But again, great energy the whole time. And for me, because I'm a psychopath about my fucking skin, I have used the same products on my face for a very long time. I've had the same regimen. I don't think I do like an unusual skincare routine, but I do use 2 products that are very chemically. But I don't wear makeup ever almost. Most like probably at least 6 days a week. I wear no makeup, so I'm not putting shit on my face all the time. I will clean my face with oil, with like an argan oil mix, and I don't use like makeup removers or real toners. I use like witch hazel, rose water based shit, and then I use 2 Olay products. So my skin has always like been good and consistent. The water, I thought, was the most important thing because that's the thing I can see an immediate day-to-day change in my skin. So I never drink less than half a gallon. I do shoot for a gallon every day. But my fucking skin, from eating butter, olive oil, bacon, steak, eggs, the cheese. I eat a lot of fucking cheese. I like vegetables, so I do eat a lot of like zucchini squash and like shit like that. Like I caramelize it with onions and shit. And when I do eat salads, and this is one of those things where I know that like dressings and shit aren't good for you. But because I do not put anything chemically into my body food-wise besides this, I love Hidden Valley Ranch. I do get the light one because it's 60 calories for 2 tablespoons. And it actually tastes the same. Don't ever buy the fat-free one. The fat-free one tastes like shit. Like, fuck you, Hidden Valley, for even continuing to carry that if it's out there. I see it less now. I hope they're getting the hint. Just remove it because Hidden Valley's fucking delicious. Don't do this to us. But I will do the little bit of dressing, which, again, chemically. But it doesn't... I'm not ever stressed about what I'm going to eat because you can kind of fucking eat anything. Like, if I get hungry, I'll eat some cheese, or, like, I love pickles. You can always find something. There's dehydrated, like, literal vegetables. You just have to be reading fucking ingredients. Look at shit. Look at the sugar and the carbs. Again, calories are king, but you have to pay attention because if you're mitigating the sugar and the carbs, there's a really good chance that you're also mitigating a lot of the calories. In reality. I'm sorry, I'm so like fucked up today. It's because I've been sitting outside smoking like an asshole. But this bothers me. Anyway, the exercising thing, like the body positivity shit, it's frustrating. It's frustrating because, like, as much as I know that I have good nutrition knowledge and I'm able to keep myself in great shape, to then at this, like, right recently, this is only a couple weeks I've been doing this, to at this point find a different diet that's easy. It's the easiest I've ever fucking had, because these are foods I like, though, you know. I don't know what I would do if I was like a picky eater, or if there was shit I really didn't like, but I like all this stuff. I eat bacon and cheese all day long. It sounds nuts, and I was so nervous to do it, and every day I kept waking up like expecting to like be puffy and gross, and you're not. Don't fucking eat this shit if you're not exercising. You will become a fat piece of shit. Just like you'd become a fat piece of shit if you just shoved any other calories worth of shit down your fucking throat. You have to do something. But this is the best match for me that I've found, and my fucking skin. It's so nice. It's so nice. I'm 36. It's like, it's not bad. It's really not bad. I don't think about I wouldn't get Botox, I don't think, anyway. I know it sounds crazy, but I don't like needles. But I just got a compliment. I got a really nice compliment at the casino when I was chain smoking and playing slots. On how nice my skin was. Don't do that. Don't gamble and smoke cigarettes. But, yeah, the water. You should be eating good fats. You need to be eating good. Avocados, olive oil, butter. Butter's the best. And I fucking love butter. Yeah, I don't know. Read some shit. Fuck around with your food a little bit. And I feel like people get so crazy. And I also hate when people gatekeep, like, health and fitness and nutrition shit. So that's why I'm talking about this. Because, like, my skin is so soft. It puts the lotion in the basket. I don't know. But, and the whole, like, exercise. That existential, like, fucking feeling of dread that I think a lot of people feel like they get throughout the day, or like they feel like so many people think they have like an anxiety problem and they don't. It could be mitigated with exercise, like legitimately. Also, when I'm super anxious or super depressed, I like the 2 days before my period, I get usually 2. This past one was rough, but I'll get like one manic day and one, like depressive day. And then the 3rd day I get my period, and then I'm just very lethargic, but my mood's stabilized. 4th day I'm fine. And that also happened when I changed. If you drink water and unfuck your diet, your cycle may get completely fucking normal and very manageable. Also, I'm just throwing that out there. Just sharing with you, like, the positive effects of all this fucking annoying shit that I do every day. Also, vitamins. I would be remiss because I take 10 of them every morning. And it's the thing I hate the fucking most. I would rather run 9 miles than take fucking vitamins every day. But guess what? I do it because I see the difference when I don't. Anything that I can, like, see right on my face and my body immediately that has fucked me up or feel, just don't fucking do it. Why the fuck would you do it to yourself? This is what I take. This is good for women specifically. Jimmy takes, well, I'll tell you the different ones he takes afterward. But I take omega-3 fish oil, alpha-lipoic acid. That's a really important one that I don't know if a lot of people take it, but that helps your body to absorb all the vitamins. It's really good for you. B12, I take vitamin C, D, L, lysine. I take glucosamine, chondroitin, obviously for my joints. And God, I have fucking witch hands. Jesus. Collagen, biotin, and zinc. And you should take iron. I used to not take zinc because it upset my stomach, and then I just put it in one day and just like got through it. And I need to start doing that with iron, because iron's another one that upset my stomach, but is good for you and you should take it. And then Jimmy does not take the L-theanine, the glucosamine, the collagen, the biotin, or the zinc. He should take the zinc, but he won't. He takes ashwagandha, milk thistle, something else. I can't remember. But you should take vitamins because you'll actually feel the difference. Just a suggestion. I don't know. I don't like when people don't like tell their own experiences with like fitness and nutrition shit, because it's very helpful to people. I mean, like, I love my gym. I've gone to the same gym for a really long time, but like years, and nobody speaks to me, which is why I love it there. They're so respectful of the fact that you can so clearly tell that like I'm working out instead of going to therapy. And it's just nice. It's good. It's like, it really fucking helps. And you don't have to do as like a crazy workout. Go for a walk. Go for a fucking walk. When I was like unfucking myself a couple years ago, I was like tearing myself up because I've always worked out a lot and I wasn't able to force myself to go to the gym again. And I started doing, I listened to Joe Rogan's podcast literally just as soon as an episode comes out, because I'm a lunatic and need therapy again. But he had, I don't remember what the fuck he was talking about, but he was talking about doing like 100 body weight squats and 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, whatever. And I was like, fuck it. And I made my goal to have 100 by the end of the day. So I would do like 10 while I was folding the laundry, and then like 10 while I was putting away the dishes, and started really actually like trying to get to 100 by the end of the day. And after like a week of doing that, I was able to get back into the gym, like, because my brain. So like, just do something and see what fucking happens. Who gives a shit? If you don't like it, don't fucking do it. But don't, if any of these things sound like they're a problem for you, just try it. You don't need meds. You don't need the SSRIs. God bless America. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is God bless Roseanne Barr. I hate Mark Ruffalo anyway, but there was this picture of him posted at the SAG strike, and he literally, like, his clothes were like mothy and falling apart and like dilapidated, as if he had purchased them from probably one of the crackheads who lived on the street right next to where they were striking. And she said something along the lines of, make sure to wear your poor people clothes. And I was like, perfect. That's exactly what needs to be said for that photo. All right, folks, that's it for today. Hopefully I'm going to have a guest for the next one. I've got 3 people that I continue to ask to be on here, and then I'm just not getting my shit together. What else is new? All right, love you, bye.